Hello everyone, I am Himasati Sharma and student. We are discussing the chapter Time and Motion for class 7. We have already discussed motion, we have discussed time, we have discussed speed and today we are going to discuss uniform and non-uniform motion. So in everyday life we see that objects, they don't move with a constant speed over a long distance or for a longer duration of time. If the speed of an object moving along a straight line keeps changing, its motion is called non-uniform motion. On the other hand, if the object is moving along a straight line with a constant speed, is said to be in uniform motion. So in this case, that means in uniform motion case, the average speed is the same as the actual speed, but it does not happen all the time. As we discussed in the previous lecture also, if a car starts from my home to my school, that car cannot move with a constant speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Somewhere it will be 20 kilometers per hour and somewhere it will be 70 kilometers per hour as well. So that kind of motion will be called non-uniform motion. So let us discuss uniform motion. A body is said to be in uniform motion if it travels equal distances in equal intervals of time. Example, if a car is running at a constant speed, for example, 20 meters per second. So 1 second it will cover 20 meters, another second also it will cover 20 meters, and the third second also it is covering 20 meters. So in this way the motion will be uniform. So what are the examples of uniform motion? For example, movements of hands of watch. So you see, in exact 5 minutes, it will move from 1 to 2. In another exact 5 minutes, the minute hand will move from 2 to 3. So the movement is uniform. Rotation and revolution of earth is also uniform. Movement of blades of ceiling fan is also uniform. If we try to plot a distance time graph for uniform motion, then it will be straight line always. So this is the distance. See, you know how to plot a graph. Y-axis, this is x-axis which we plot time, and this is y-axis in which we plot distance. So in 2 minutes it is traveling this much distance. In 4 minutes, 4 seconds it is traveling this much of distance. So this way you can plot a distance time graph, and in case of uniform motion, the distance time graph is always in a straight line. Non-uniform motion, a body is said to be in a non-uniform motion if it is not traveling equal distances in equal interval of time. That means it is traveling unequal distances. For example, if we drop a ball from the roof of a tall building, we are not throwing it, we are freely dropping it, we will notice that it will cover unequal distance in equal interval of time. जैसे 5 meters in first second and next second it will cover 50 meters and so on. Thus, a freely falling ball will cover smaller distance in first second and larger distance in later 1 second interval. So therefore it is a non-uniform motion. So we can say that motion of a freely falling body is an example of non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion is also known as accelerated motion, and this distance time graph of non-uniform motion will always be a curved line. So this is the difference between a uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Uniform motion will always be in straight line, whereas non-uniform motion will always be curved line. So let us see the differences between uniform and non-uniform. What is the definition or meaning? In uniform motion, body moves in a straight line with a uniform speed. Here, the body moves along a straight line but with a change in speed or variable speed. How much distance is covered? Uniform motion cover equal distances in an equal interval of time, but in non-uniform motion covers unequal distances in equal interval of time. Now, what is the average speed? In uniform motion, average speed and actual speeds are same, whereas in non-uniform motion, actual speed and average speed are different. Uniform motion, acceleration is 0. Therefore, there is no increase in speed, whereas in non-uniform, acceleration is not 0. Distance time graph of uniform motion is a straight line, whereas distance time graph of a non-uniform motion shows curved line. Graphical representation of motion. So by drawing the distance time graph, the motion of an object can be represented in diagram form as we have seen. So how do we draw the distance time graph? To draw distance time graph, we'll use a graph paper. And for drawing distance time, we will need the readings of distance and we will need the reading of distance and time. For here, you can see in 0 minute, it is traveling 0 kilometer. In 2 minutes, it is traveling 2 kilometer. 4 minutes, it is traveling 4 kilometers. So how to plot the graph? So first we'll take a graph paper. We'll take two lines. One is horizontal x-axis, another is y-axis, which is at right angle, and the y-axis is vertical line. Now we'll write time on x-axis and y-axis distance. So now in this problem, we have only small time values to represent. So the scale we'll take in the graph paper, we'll take scale also. So 2 minutes is equal to 2 centimeter. Now we'll mark the values and we will see that how the graph will be plotted. This. So at 0 time, 0 distance. Now at 1 minute, 1 distance. 2 minute, 2 meters. 4 minutes, 4 meters. 6 minutes, 6 meters. So here you can see this is how the distance time graph is plotted, and since this is a straight line, therefore we can say that this motion is a uniform motion. Like this. So this way we complete our chapter. I hope you have understood the chapter well. Thank you so much.